Welcome to Group Editors Live. I'm Ilse Squinrad. Thank you for joining us. Today we discuss all things property. The influx of people to the Garden Route over the past decade or so is a huge talking point with huge concerns about the pressure on infrastructure. And, as is always the case with supply and demand, house prices and rentals have soared. With me to discuss the practical implications for homeowners and for buyers, as well as property trends in the Garden Route, is Tim Kirby, Principal of Southern Cape Realty for the past 32 years and owner of Geffen Sotheby's International Realty in George and Wilderness since 2004. Tim, welcome.
Thank you, Ilse. Good to be with you.
First question, and the huge one. Will prices continue to increase?
A good question, Ilse. I remember many years ago as a lightie, my dad moved here with myself, and his comment was, this is 1969, before most of you were born, and he said to me, "Gee, house prices are expensive in George." And that was, 50 years ago nearly. And yes, prices have continued to rise. Whether they will continue at the rate they have been over the last 2 years, I doubt it. I believe we have plateaued for this year. There was a feeding frenzy in 2022 and tapered off a little bit in 2023, mid last year. So I do believe that we've kind of plateaued for now, but they will be off again probably in the next 18 months to 2 years.
I know that you've said that the biggest demand for homes between like 2 and 3 million, 1.5 to 3 million. Now, what can I expect? If I've got 3 million as a buyer, what can I expect to get for that in George?
For 3 million, you'll get in a traditional neighborhood, probably not an estate unless it's a smaller property, but for 3 beds, 2 baths, double garage, you'll be lucky to get for 3. I think I said probably 3.5, even then fortunate to get at that price. But 900 square meters, ground, enclosed, possibly not the latest finishes, that you'll get for 3.5.
And will it then be in a good neighborhood?
It'll be in a good neighborhood, yes, yeah. I think most of George, generally speaking now, you'll see even what traditionally was maybe not so good. There's a lot of upgrade that's been happening to individual homes. So most of the areas in George we see as good areas or good neighborhoods.
Now, what can you get for 5 million?
For 5 million, you'll get, for example, a very, very nice home in Heatherlands, in Heather Park, in the eastern suburbs of George, the leafy areas around Eden, Denver Park, that sort of area. You can also get into an estate if you want to live in an estate, possibly not very big. Smaller, well, when I say a smaller home, maybe in square meters of about 250 to 280 square meters, 3 beds, 2 baths, 2 garages. You'll get for that price in the likes of Kingswood, maybe not Earl's Court, or maybe just into Earl's Court if you're lucky. The Montfleurs, Cherry Creeks, those kind of gated estates, which are all very much sought after.
And is it still possible, say I've got a little bit of spare cash or I can bond my house or whatever to buy a fix-me-upper and then to maybe let it out and hope to get a return on my money?
Eventually you'll get a return on your money, yes. I err on the cautious side. So fixer-uppers are, your costs of building today and fixing up are huge. So you might not be able to have bought at the price that you would like to have picked up a property at, but certainly if you can wait it out for sort of 3 to 5 years after having fixed up, you will see your return. So capital growth is better than the initial return that you'll get.
Okay, and what are the top features that buyers look for? I mean, these days with problems with Eskom and power outages, solar, is that very important?
I would say anywhere from 4 million upwards solar, buyers are expecting to have some kind of a solar installation. Important, yes, but as I said, 4 million upwards, I think that's what I said, probably is where they would expect solar and inverter systems to be installed.
And what other sort of features?
Kitchens, bathrooms, always popular, especially with women. Naturally so, with all people really. But kitchens, bathrooms, up to date are a great winner, and gardens established. Security is very important. Is there electric fencing? Are there cameras? All those are big. The cost of actually come down for those sort of features, so not too difficult to have to do.
Which is the better choice? Basic house in a very good neighborhood, or a very good house in a basic neighborhood?
A basic house in a very good neighborhood. Because you can always upgrade over time and you'll increase the value of that property.
Infrastructure, a huge issue in George.
I was chatting to a developer who has relocated to Cape Town a couple of years ago, and I sent him some advice of recent new big developments, and he sent me a reply back saying, poor George, all the aging old infrastructure.
Even the roads, the traffic.
Correct.
And that also impacts on your quality of life, the very reason people come here.
Taking hours to get to, many minutes to get to school, where before, back in the day in George, we would always be 5 minutes away from wherever.
Used to be a 5-minute town, now it's a 10-minute town. You know, disgrace.
But the people from up north are happy with that. At least they're driving through beautiful environments, street areas. It's safe, secure, attractive. It's a beautiful day, so they're happy with that.
And the drive to the office doesn't take an hour.
No, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, speaking long term, would you go for estate living or freestanding house?
I think that depends entirely on what you as a family are, or your family is looking for. It depends what stage of life you often are. It depends what you might have experienced from where you come. You might have experienced some hardship up further other parts of the country, and you are particularly sensitive to security, so then you probably will go for living in an estate or a complex. But there are other people who don't like rules. So my kids are free to ride their bikes. It's a relatively safe neighborhood, even with the extra traffic. So I like to do my own thing, and I don't want to be told I have to mow between 4 and 6 on a Friday, and a Saturday afternoon I can't even mow my grass, so or do whatever. So it's entirely up to the individual.
Build or buy?
Also a difficult question, but I would say in the current market that we're in, probably buy if you can find a property to buy. Building costs are so expensive now, and always have been in George for some or other reason. I've never been quite able to find out why. If you buy, you can always upgrade, as I said earlier, over time, whereas building, you'll get all the latest George finishes now, but that can be paid for and done over a period of time. So probably better value to buy.
And what about the effect of the upcoming election on the property market, the local property market?
Over the years, I've always seen whenever there's an election coming up or political instability, wherever it might be, even up in Zimbabwe many, many years ago when I first came into the industry as a youngster, there's always a caution that we find in potential buyers and sellers. The thought is, well, we don't know what's going to happen. What if this happens? What if that happens? Let's wait and see. So people do adopt a let's wait and see policy. And a month or two after the election, we're all still here. Everything's working, and back they come to buy or sell.
Okay. And then just finally, advice to local homeowners. Many homeowners, even if their properties are paid, not bonded, they're under pressure because of rates and taxes, electricity, everything that is just, that you sort of feel under pressure just to look after your property and maintain it and so on. What advice do you have for a person that feels that pressure?
I would say try and keep a handle on your maintenance of your property. Best possible not to sell if you can. If you need to scale down in terms of size, possibly look at that. But keep a handle on your property. Even do it slowly. Every other month, paint a wall here and there, section of roof. It doesn't mean to say you have to go in and paint your entire home or upgrade your kitchen or renew your bathrooms. Do it slowly, steadily, and tighten your belt wherever else you possibly can. I know it's a difficult one. We're all affected by that. But keep your property come what may.
This was Tim Kirby from Sotheby's International Realty, our local property guru. See you next time. From me, Ilse Squinrod. Good day.